Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they're hitting their stride of... It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
319! 319!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Powell on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Now, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Brees now on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now a play fake. Breeze. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want to
offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big completion there on 3rd and short, keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere, but they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get what they thought was going to be a franchise quarterback, and indeed he is, Matt Ryan. But they had to supplement it. They went free agency, got a running back, came back and traded back into the first round in the same draft to get a left tackle to protect him. Really supplemented that pick, complemented that pick, and went to the playoffs the very next year.
Well, maybe they can use that and carbon copy it.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And Grady Jarrett, their defensive tackle, not just a space eater, although he plays the run very well. knows how to get to the quarterback and provide that pressure in his face up the middle. Remember his 3 sacks in the Super Bowl against New England.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Now Landry. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's complete to Antonio Gates. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A handoff to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Here we go.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Here we go.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, here we go. Boom, line it.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one.
Roughing the passer.
I don't know about
Defense.
that. I don't know about
Toe-bashed
that. Super toe.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 10-zip our score. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's Breeze.
Defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Dancing touchdown. And the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Here's Powell on the return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give them 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick, there on the coverage.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a carry for the fullback. This is Vitale. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Over the middle, complete. It's Powell. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there at 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Running left, it's Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Robert Kimdichie, we've heard about him since high school. How about that total package of power, speed, and agility?
Yeah, he was widely thought of as the best. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Daniil Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick handoff to Vitale. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And now running right through it. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always have changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain. I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Panthers have got it back to a one-score game. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now Breeze. And this is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He'll look to throw. Completes it to Powell. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
All-star offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. Now back to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. Touchdown, New Orleans. Deshaun Jackson, 87 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. That's caught at the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Returning it, John Ross. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Here we go.
3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here.
Ready. You ready? Shot.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, and I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part went to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Man in the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this again?
Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now let's go!
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. In for the score. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there, pick up the first down.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Breeze. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And a gain there of 11 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. For the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
They'll drop the throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The kick by Pinier is good, and that will tie us at 24 all. It's another field goal, his 3rd of the game. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but does bring him level now.
I like how you put that in there. It brings them level, right? Because if you're talking about kicking, bringing that soccer analogy in, I love that one. I love that one a lot. You don't want to go for it on 4th down and come away with nothing, right? Go ahead and kick the ball. Make sure you get some points. Even if it's a safe call, I think it's the right call.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Bree's going to throw. Caught by Gates, left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him.
And we're back now in Charlotte. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. David Irving able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at about the 32. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Again, it's Mixon. And some room to roam now. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going. Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yards.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Gostkowski the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Let's go. Green 39.
And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now White. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jamal Adams was their #1 pick a year ago there on the coverage. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Again, it's Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's probably running them into submission.
I think you took the work. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. They had it 1st and goal. 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble is kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Breeze now on 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take them down. That's what counts more.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 14 on the play. And it'll make it 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Ready?
On third down, Mixon. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
The
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
it. In that case, run it up.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On 1st and 10, White. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do.
Boom, landed.
Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. The play fake, now White. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Yellow lady.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.